Hi, I'm Tom Kuhn with 5 ways to weather this financial storm with your business and your team so you come out of it stronger, smarter, leaner, and better. Now, just before the camera got turned on, a team member mentioned to me a text message we got from one of our clients who is frightened, doesn't know how she's going to make it through, is dealing with an extended business interruption like most of you. So anyway, I want to give you a framework to really kind of help you really see this maybe a little bit differently. I'm going to start with unity. This is a time to be unified and not divided with 5 key stakeholders. It's a time to deepen connections and build trust. It's a time to be highly proactive in your communication, and it's also a time to really bring your head and heart into your relationships. Now, the 5 key stakeholders, we'll start with your team. We'll next go to your clients. Next will be vendors, banks and other lending sources, and then finally your community, including nonprofits, etc., as well as just the ecosystem of your community, other small businesses, etc. Now, as it relates to your team, coming into this situation, or financial storm, I'll call it, it's much more than a financial storm, it's a very scary health situation, and very disruptive. Coming into it, many small businesses were really struggling with finding and keeping talent. And in a strange way, this actually could be an opportunity to really completely change that. People really want to belong. They want to be part of something. They want to be part of a community. And what a great opportunity to deepen the connections with your team and to really create more of a long-term relationship with key members of your team. As it relates to your customers and your clients, it's an opportunity to also deepen your connection, because this is an opportunity for you to rise to the occasion with teams and clients. And how you act and how you respond will go a very long way to what happens after the storm. As it relates to vendors, I saw some advice that I completely disagree with, and that is just change your suppliers, change your vendors. And why do that? If you have vendors that you've established a relationship with, you've worked together, it's been a good exchange of products and services, why have a knee-jerk reaction? Certainly it's an opportunity, or it's going to be a situation where you're going to be challenged with your vendors, and they're going to be very challenged too. But it's a time to build unity and connection and to work through things together so both parties are able to navigate their way through this successfully. As it relates to banks and a little bit more about vendors, I'll get into other videos I'm going to do related with financial management. But let's spend a minute on community here, and keep in mind that part of your community is going to be made up of the richness that comes from churches and art organizations that are very dependent on dollars. And there's an ecosystem to the economy. And certainly we want to be very frugal, we want to be lean, we want to preserve our cash. That doesn't mean that we completely dry up the exchange of money. It's an opportunity to still find generosity to make sure that your stakeholders are also able to prosper into the future. The second key area, before I do that actually, I say see number 4, because down here I'm going to give you a little bit of a framework to work off of in connecting with your key stakeholders. Now, as it relates to focus, one of the things to keep in mind is that our brains are like Velcro for bad news, meaning it sticks, and Teflon for positive news, like it just rolls off. We just tend to forget it. And that's because of how we're wired in the amygdala part of our brain, where we pay more attention to the things that scare us, which is natural because it's survival related. Now, we are being bombarded with information. A lot of this information is really important. We have to pay attention to it. But we have to be careful that we don't overindulge in it. media and all the different sources out there that are feeding us information are going to play on this with us because it sells newspapers, it sells media, it sells social media. So we want to be careful and focus on things that we can control. We can control how we respond to fear. We can control how we react to the media. We can control our attitude, our mindset, our thoughts, our beliefs. We can control how much we help others. And we can control how we take care of ourselves. As it relates to measure, this is really a big one and a big area that I spend a lot of time in, and that's really financial management. And most small businesses really struggle with financial management, keeping in mind that cash is king, and cash is the #1 oxygen to business. What a great opportunity to upgrade your financial management. What a great opportunity to really come out of this storm stronger, because in the phone calls I'm getting, the emails, the text messages from clients and friends, the ones that really have a handle on their financials, the ones that really know where they're at, they're able to react very quickly, as opposed to businesses that really don't have a handle on their finances. And a very real example is some of our clients are looking for an increase in line of credit. And some of them are able to go to the bank and immediately get the increase in line of credit because they have the information readily available. And they've got strong books, strong financials, which builds trust with the banks and makes them more inclined to work together with you. Also, some of the relief coming from the government, disaster relief funds, are going to be highly dependent on you providing information to the government. So keep in mind that this is an opportunity to really upgrade your financial management practices. The asterisk is there because we're going to spend a lot more time with that. As it relates to engage and winning the hearts and minds of others, keep in mind that people are going to want to hear your voice, and pick up the phone with key stakeholders. And the framework around building connection and engaging is an acronym ACCE, which is actually a verb. And it gives you a way to frame your interactions with people as you weather your way through the storm. First of all, it's to appreciate. Secondly, it's to care. Third, it's to challenge. Fourth, it is to encourage. And now, this is an opportunity to demonstrate your appreciation and build your bond and your connection with your teams, your clients, all of your stakeholders. And again, this is a verb, so this is something you actually do, not something you think or feel. Express your gratitude, express your appreciation. Care. Let your team, let all your stakeholders know that you care about them, and be expressive in that. Reach out. It's not a time for isolation. Challenge. These are challenging times, and we're going to need to challenge our stakeholders, and they're going to challenge us, and just be ready for that and approach it really with your head and your heart. And certainly encouragement is to offer everybody in your community, all your stakeholders, encouragement to weather the storm. Now, keep in mind, I mentioned 5 stakeholders, but there's other people to ACE. Don't forget to ACE your family, your friends, your community, and don't forget to ACE yourself. Demonstrate self-care. And then finally, the last piece to this is really how we expend our attention, time, and money, which we refer to as your ATM. You see, we have 3 currencies in life. We have attention, time, and money. The investment community talks about ROI, return on investment, which is a very narrow definition of return, because we have to consider not only the return on money, but the return on our attention and the return on our time. And there's high return and there's low return activities. And let me give you some examples. And this is an opportunity to weather the storm by making sure that you get a high return on all of these currencies. All right. attention, time, and money. And as it relates to return on money, again, other videos will get into financial management and the whole money piece, but let me just give you some things to think about. So a low return on attention, time, and money is complaining, social media, overconsumption of TV, CNN. High return is education. What a great opportunity to really learn some new skills. What a great opportunity to upgrade your financial management practices. What a great opportunity to finish a class that you started. Take online education. Great opportunity for education. Finish projects. Personal passions. Get closure to certain things at home as long as you're spending excess amount of time at home. Spend time with your family. Deepen the connection. Many of you dream of having extended time with your family. Many of you dream of having extended time to do those things you've always wanted to do. Well, you can do those now. Keep in mind that this is a time to really be very intentional in how you spend your attention, time, and money. So with education, here's the thing. Fear subsides with education. And I'm a big believer in education. I'm a big believer in lifelong learning. And we can learn from this storm. We can come out of it smarter. We can come out of it stronger. We can come out of it better. And so that's my challenge to you, is to rise to the occasion as a leader, and we'll get through this, and we'll get through this together.